Okay, today's first video is going to be the knife arm against same side wrist grab. This is one of the first techniques taught in Hapkido to beginners, and quite frankly should be your best technique. It's the first one you learn. You should have been practicing this since day one through whatever your level or period of practice has been. It's often one of the most incorrectly done techniques. It is also a technique that includes all of the theories and principles of Hapkido, from non-resistance to circular motion to utilizing the opponent's energy against them. Yu-One Ha in Korean. Okay? Non-resistance, circular motion, and coordination of energy or utilizing the opponent's power against them, as well as a number of incapacitating or attacking techniques before the actual knife arm is executed against the opponent's arm. The technique also requires body positioning. I will demonstrate how it's done commonly, various variations thereof, which are also incorrect, and we'll show you why it doesn't work and why people think it is ineffective. It's not working. It's not working because they're not doing it right. So I'm going to first demonstrate some of the common incorrect ways of executing this technique, and then I'll explain in detail how to do this technique correctly. Hit. Same side wrist grab. When you practice, you want to have your opponent grab you tight. Okay? Don't do a half grab and just kind of stand there. They're going to hold you tight. They're going to resist you as if you're being held. And this is not an uncommon method of holding somebody. In VB cases, domestic violence, in attack scenarios, this is a very common method of attack to force somebody to pull them to where they want you to be. So it's not an ineffective or inadequate or uncommon method of attack. So when they grab you, most people will stand there, maybe not open their hands, and then hold tight. He's holding tight right now, it's pretty tight. They stop, try to go like that. I can't raise my arm because I'm trying to use upper muscles in my arm against the full power of his whole body. It's not going to work. Another thing, so you see people stepping out and rotating the arm. So they'll step out and realize they're not getting anywhere. Now they're stuck. So that's second variation. Another one is, alright, they step out. Okay, didn't work quite so well because my body's trying to go this way, my arms and hands still stuck here. So all three are some of the common incorrect methods to start this technique, all resulting in you can't get beyond moving your body or your hand to about an inch or so. So what ends up happening is a lot of people will start going, okay, well, alright, I'm going to do that. I'm going to set up with a strike, kick, and then I'm going to go like that. Unnecessary and, quite honestly, just foolish. Incorrect execution of the technique doesn't mean you make up stuff to counter or to balance the incorrect execution of the technique. Under different circumstances, if I'm standing in snow, he's got 2 inches of clothes on and a glove, maybe we need to do some setups, to do some additional techniques to work through it, even when it's done correctly. But that's if you're in a different scenario with a different environment, with a huge opponent, with clothing on, with uneven grounding. That calls for modification of technique, to do certain other things to set up, more follow-through, additional techniques as you execute the technique to counter, to balance the various variables in that scenario. But when you're practicing, you want to practice what I call the classical method. Do it correctly, do it theoretically correct. Then when you're in a situation where you have to improvise, you can improvise very quickly. But if you start out with the technique that you learn, including all these setups and variations thereof, you learn an incorrect technique, and it works well maybe for that situation that you're in, but it won't work in all cases. When done correctly, the technique will work in all cases, you may need to modify it a little bit, some add-ons or some variations, but you can do that when you know how to do it correctly. So the first thing to do, grab tight. You hold them tight. Okay, I can't move my arm very long. First thing, live hand, open. Watch my feet. Actually, we're going to step back. Let's step back on the mat a little bit.